And then the main reason that you would work hard was was because of course you already had a nice house and a nice car and two, a couple of children maybe. Um, but why you would work hard is so that you could buy things, because it turned out buying things was the way forward. That people needed to buy stuff, all kinds of things, and that while you were buying things, then it evolved, as they say, and so not only were you buying things, but you could kind of identify what kind of a person you were, and whether you were a good American or whatever, or, a tasteful American, by kind of identifying with certain kinds of brands that you bought. That was important, and so that would help to define and get us moving in the right direction. Because that it seemed at a certain point here, that was the main thing, that if we would just buy. Now, a question came up when I was starting out. There was a kind of a debate going on at that time about whether or not it was good to borrow money and things from other people to get stuff, because a lot of people wanted to, because they wanted stuff, natural enough. And so a lot of people said, yeah, no, that's good, and other people said, um, no. For instance, my grandfather told me, he said, he didn't use credit, and he was obviously out of the loop, and he just used cash for things, and I didn't really understand what what he meant, but I thought, well, okay, I remember the information. But then later, so then the thing was, but then it became clear that actually, in fact, it got so, it reached a point, it's kind of subsiding a little bit now, but the point was that if you would, you really didn't even exist unless you were in debt. I mean, if you didn't have a credit card, so you could borrow, it was hard to know what to do with you, and you couldn't get things. You couldn't rent an apartment, or you couldn't buy, unless you had a record of being in debt. Then you were good. Particularly if you showed that you were trying to pay off the debt. Not that you paid it off. If you paid it off, that was kind of iffy. But if you hadn't paid it off, but you were paying the charges on it, then you were good. Um, and I've heard things, but I don't want to go into that. There's apparently a reason why they, 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 the ones who know, feel about things. And so that was that. And so, um, and then, well, that's pretty much about the size of it. I think those are the things that been kind of going on in my life, and stuff like that. So I was just reflecting on that this morning, what I've learned, uh, and sure, it's some of it you can be very sure of it. The other things that kind of seem to be in flux. You have to kind of wait and see what will come next, what we'll learn next. Oh yeah, and then I forgot, because recently too I've been learning things. Just the most recent thing. This is the latest news that I've learned. I've learned that apparently there are some people in other places, and they're bad people, and they want to hurt us, and they are trying to cause us great harm for no reason. I mean, it's just because they're kind of ill-tempered and don't like the fact, apparently, that we have such a great country. I mean, they're sore losers or something, and so because of this, we we have to form a huge army and to fight these people. It's going to be hard, because as it turns out, apparently we're kind of in quite a bit in debt ourselves, and really basically kind of broke. But the thing is, even so, we have to do this, and we have to have a huge army to fight these people. And the thing is, that's really kind of, I have to say it's a little bit troubling, is that apparently they've gotten into our own country. Oh, so they could be here too. So we have to kind of watch out. If we see anything that seems suspicious, we need to report it to the authorities in the government, and then um, also you know, I mean, it's like a war, so we have to give up certain freedoms that we have. I mean, they need to go in and just get these people and not be bothered in any way. So, if they think you're one of them, and I mean, if they think you're one of them, they just, you can't be getting a lawyer and stuff like that, and protesting about, having some sort of special treatment just because you're an American citizen, because you could be, you could be one of the bad guys, and so, um, um, well, so then, sure, you have to, you know, give up your rights, and because of the special time. Sure, later, probably one hopes, of course, that we'll get our rights back, and that will be good. Then we can go back to just buying stuff and and supporting our government, and getting into debt and kind of worshiping our government in our country, and putting it first and that kind of thing. So I just wanted to mention that there is this other thing that's kind of the latest thing. But there's good news though, because it turns out that we have so many bright people here, scientists they're called, and they study things and they learn incredibly insightful about everything, because they study little tiny things, and it's amazing what they can learn from studying little micro, uh, and they can see, because they built things so they can see better, and so they've looked out into the vast universe. I mean, who of us has done that? You haven't done that. And so they know things like that. Like they looked out there and they found there's big black holes out there sucking everything up. Isn't that incredible? Unfortunately, there's not one too close, so we don't have to concern ourselves with it. But they find out all kinds of things, and you just it's hard. It's amazing what they've learned. And but they're going to save us from whatever trouble, whatever difficulties may be coming up, because um, they're going to find a way to clone us and make us and freeze us, so that they can fix us later if they can't do it now, and just a lot of exciting, wonderful things. And and meanwhile, they're also improving everything as we speak, making kind of changing things around in the basic nature of everything, so it'll be better, and corn will grow faster, and fish will get bigger. It's just wonderful, it's the things they're doing, and so we rest our hope in these people who study little tiny things and big things, and think a lot. They think a lot, and so we trust their thinking. I mean, let's be realistic about it. And so hopefully, I think it's kind of a secret wish of all of us. Is that, see, what's going to happen is they're gonna figure out how to travel these incredible distances, and well, very very fast, and just at the last minute, so to speak. It would probably be a drama. Just as the planet has gotten all dark and screwed up and everything from people making a mess. Why, we'll move to a new house, and we can start the whole process over again, and there'll be so many houses, so many different places we can go. That's what we'll do. We'll just go from one place to another. We'll pollute it, then we'll go to another place, and we'll get to live on spaceships out in space and everything. Just have metal around us everywhere, and high-tech stuff. I mean, it's going to be exciting. But you'll have to adapt. I mean, if you just I don't know. I mean, like, take a farmer. You enjoy the air and the night sky and the feeling of the earth and the plants and the birds. Everything, and you like to dig in the earth, and not be too bothered by a lot of funny things going on and people who don't work and stuff like that. Well, you might might just have to kind of, evolution may take place and eliminate you because it's going to be a new high-tech world, and we're not going to be here. We should, obviously, I think secretly a lot of us, becoming more and more aware. We can't stay here. I mean, this place is like it's. The water, even the ocean. The oceans, the sun. It's. I mean, the atmosphere, the earth. And, as much as we keep improving it, we still may not. We might be able to. I can't be sure, but unless we can improve it enough in time, we're going to have to move. I mean, that's getting more and more clear. So I just want to say these are the kind of updating. These are the kind of the latest things. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I just want to kind of append something here and say that I don't want to leave people kind of up in the air. That was today's news, but I'm also this series might continue. I hope it does. You can look on my video site and see, or wherever I might be. But the thing is, I'm gonna kind of in this series because I was talking about what I've learned from people in authority and people who have power and and positions in our country and so on. But there are other things. There are some things that I've learned for myself. That I've learned, and then there are things that I've learned from something else, which I won't talk about now. But I mean, that I will get into. So there's going to be more. There's going to be more of this series, I think, and kind of try to bring the news. A kind of a what share. I want to share what the different things I've learned, over the last pretty good sized period of time, because the different changes and stuff from different points of view, not just authority. Of course, you want to start out with what you've learned from authority, but there are other aspects which I'll be maybe hopefully God willing I will add the odd update. I'll update this as we go along because we're learning things every day, aren't we? And so perhaps I can go on some more with this. Okay, thank you, and God bless. Hope you learn got something from this. Okay, bye bye.